video, I am going over 5 ways that you can find video editing jobs specifically in the wedding industry. Now, if you really want to maximize your success as a wedding video editor, be sure to stay till the end of this video because I do have some pro tips that are important for you to know. But for now, let's dive in. Wedding videographers. Both The Knot and Wedding Wire are 2 of the largest platforms for wedding vendors. Now, if you are ultra passionate about either editing or shooting for weddings, this method could benefit you greatly. You can go to vendors and go down to videographers. Click on the ones in your area and find each of their websites and send them a message offering your services. Tell them that you're local and that you'd love to start editing or shooting for weddings, and if they ever need any help, here's how they can contact you. Now, this is definitely verging on the cold email process, but there have been multiple times that I've run into local videographers that hate editing for weddings. So wouldn't it be wonderful if you could find some of these videographers, connect with them, offer up your services so that they could just shoot and you could just edit? Or maybe they could outsource some of their shooting and editing to you. If we haven't met yet, I am Colleen and I'm your video editing mentor. And in this channel, I teach you how to get a video editing job and how to get paid doing what you love. So for more tips on that, be sure to hit subscribe with the bell so you don't miss a thing. UpWork. Now, since UpWork is mainly for remote freelancing work, you're more likely to find companies and videographers looking for people to only do video editing services rather than video editing and videography for weddings. Now, you're also going to find a wide variety on UpWork, and this can range all the way from personal family slideshows all the way up to professional cinematic wedding editing. But even finding those personal smaller family projects will help you get your foot in the door in the wedding industry. So it's worth checking those out. Fiverr. Now, Fiverr does have a different pay structure to UpWork, but both are very popular for freelancers in the wedding industry. The way Fiverr works is you list your services. In this case, you could put professional wedding video editing, and then you list your pricing and you let clients find you when they need you. Now, Fiverr is just as competitive as UpWork, so it's really important for you to keep your profile as updated as possible. And make sure your pricing is as competitive as possible so as to not scare these clients away. Local companies. More than likely, there are tons of local companies in your area that offer wedding services. Especially if you are a videographer and video editor, reaching out to these companies via cold emailing is a great option. Now, when you do this, please be as professional as possible and as efficient as possible. And what's the best way to contact these companies? Well, you can go to their website and find their main email in the contact section. Usually that's info@blah.com. Or you could also do a little snooping on that company and see who works there on LinkedIn. Compare the different positions that you see and message the person that's in a position of authority. Now, this could be the founder or the lead videographer or a manager of sorts. This will give you a more direct path to your messaging, making it more efficient than your email just getting thrown into the general contact email. Now, if you made it this far and you are loving this video, I would so appreciate if you can hit the like button below so this video can spread to more people. And if you're also interested in becoming a YouTube video editor, specifically with Premiere Pro, I do have my Skillshare class now available, and you can get a free month of Skillshare just by clicking the link in the description below. Hiring websites. Whether it's remote or local, all of these sites are great options to look for when you're looking for a wedding video editing job. Now, touching on this again, more than likely a lot of these jobs are going to include videography and video editing work, but stay consistent in your search and over time you may find an opportunity that fits perfectly with what you're looking for. Now that we've gone through the 5 best places to find video editing jobs for weddings, here's a couple extra tips that are going to help you on your video editing journey. The biggest tip I have for you here is to look at the right time. Wedding season is really mainly between April and October. And so if you think about companies or videographers that are hiring for extra help, they're going to be hiring in that kind of first half of the season to be properly geared up for all the weddings coming their way. Or they may also post jobs towards the end of the season because October is a huge wedding month and sometimes they have a backlog of wedding videos that need edited. So you may want to look around fall as well. So you might be thinking, well, Colleen, that's very general. That's basically the entire year. I just want to remind you of the season so that you don't get discouraged. You may just be looking at the wrong time and you might want to wait a couple months until the season changes a little bit for you to look again for a wedding video editing job. Another tip I'd like to note is that more than likely, this job is going to be a sort of a collab position. A lot of times videographers or companies already have a wedding editing method in place. And so if they're outsourcing it to you, they still may want you to be using the editing platform that they're using. They may want you to be using a specific template. So just keep these things in mind that it is possibly going to be a collab position where you may need to have certain platforms and systems in place for them to be able to hire you. On that note, I'll just say, try to be efficient in either Premiere or Final Cut because more than likely they're gonna be using one of those two platforms. I'd also like to note that as you saw in a lot of my tips, it helps to be a videographer as well. If you are working with local companies, sometimes they need a whole one-man show. And while me personally, as a one-man show video editor, I can do all things post-production, but I cannot do videography. And so that held me back in the past when I wanted to get in the wedding industry because I had no intention of becoming a videographer. But if you do like videography and you do find it interesting and you think that you could do both, having both on your resume as a videographer and video editor is probably going to be a lot more enticing to these companies in the case that they need help shooting as well. Now, for more tips on getting hired as a video editor, I highly encourage you to check out this video next. Be sure to subscribe for more tips on creativity, video editing, and freelance lifestyle. Thank you to my team. Again, I am Colleen, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a good one.